Is called Sydney, not Sydney, as misspelt in your official White House press release. He is a genius, that man.
Yeah,
it's an honour to have him here, because he's here for APEC, isn't he?
He is APEC, of course, about to get underway. For those who don't know what APEC is, APEC stands for a pointless, expensive crock.
That is cynical, Rewcastle. That is very cynical. It's an important summit for world leaders. It's, you know, it's a chance for George Bush to talk about security and argue his case for the war on terror, and what a compelling argument that is.
I made my position clear about this war on terror. And by the way, the enemy made their position clear yet again when we were able to stop them.
Don't go off the script, George.
This is the guy Sydney's been put in lockdown to listen to.
Exactly.
And, of course, since he got into the country last night, we've been trying to nail him. We've been trying to get up close to him. Now, Rui, I gave you the task of getting to him, and you stuffed it up.
Well, I had a good idea. I had a great idea. I was going to get him at the airport, but somehow he managed to evade my great plan. I do not understand how he got past it.
You know he always takes the airport courtesy shuttle.
Yeah.
But, of course, when most people think APEC, they basically think of wacky shirts, don't they? Don't you reckon? All anyone really cares about is what the APEC shirt's going to look like. Now, it's usually the host country's national dress, so in our case, the shirts will probably look like this.
No, look, I've heard. The reality is, of course, he's trying to get back the Battlers votes, John Howard, so he's actually gone with a Russell Crowe Bogan look. That's what he's doing.
A Bogan APEC
A Bogan APEC, and so I tried to deliver them to the APEC leaders. Let's go get this to the Prime Minister's office.
Oh, you can't go in.
I think the Winnie Blues really set it off, don't you reckon?
I do. Very good.
Yeah, good, aren't they?
Excellent.
It's nice. Well, mate, this is for the Prime Minister to try on. Is he going to come down? Yes, sir. He's going to be nude. Going to get the national dress in for the leaders' photos. If John Howard doesn't have this on the last day, he's going to look like a fool in front of the nation. You wouldn't happen to know where President Bush is staying, would you? I just got to give him his shirt. No?
Now, the summit proper gets underway on Friday, but already Sydney's been completely turned upside down. It's unrecognisable. And did you see what I love? They've even taken all the native animals out of Taronga Zoo and moved them to a separate location just so the APEC leaders can look at them in private.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it? I mean, if they really wanted to see wild Australian animals, they just had to go to Newcastle.
But it's the tourists back at Taronga that I feel sorry for, Craig. I mean, they've come all this way to Australia to see a kangaroo, and the roos have been removed. And, frankly, the substitute animals the zoo's put in aren't fooling anyone.
I am the Australian kangaroo, a marsupial. Come back when APEC's over. Birds are fake.
I got this shift. He's got to go to APEC. Morning, officers. Yes, that did hurt.
Useless. It was interesting to see the police even there at the zoo, because this APEC conference, it involves the biggest security operation ever staged in this country. We've got massive exclusion zones, thousands of police.
There's helicopters, surveillance. It's really huge, and for the most part, Sydney-siders seem to be copping it happily.
Well, more or less, but where would they draw the line? I mean, just how much interference will people tolerate in the name of APEC security?
Have you had a random APEC security check yet, sir?
Sure.
Okay, you got something here, sir?